So, on today's episode of Mind in the Mohawk, Inside the Mind of Mohawk, we got two little chimichangas creeping. One name is Joe, and the other name is Smith. So, Mr. Joe Smith, these two friends were hanging out, walking down the street in the middle of this city that was like made of these crazy like pillars that looked like freaking candy canes, right? Inside these buildings, there was like weird looking designs that were like beautiful colored though, man. It was like orange, red, gold colored, you know what I mean? And like you walk down the street and there was like Christmas lights as normal lights, but instead of like the colors, they were just like regular LEDs, but they actually flashed almost like rainbows. So these guys, Joe and Smith, were walking down the block, enjoying themselves. And in the city, there's actually these little people called grins. These grins are actually like little translucent people that look like they have 3 arms coming out this way, 4 arms this way, which the other 4th arm actually works as a balancer for them. They got 3 legs, and then on top of that, their mouths are like covered with like this weird looking like web-like thing, but they can actually speak and communicate through it. So these grins, they're really weird looking. So the Joe's wandering down, he's minding his own business. Smith is like, man, dude, I think we should go and check out this abandoned building that was around this block that they ended up hearing about when they were walking down the street. So they ended up going checking out this building, and in this building, it was abandoned, but it was actually like made of these weird looking bricks that were almost spike looking, and was like a sea urchin. So then these ended up going in there, and they was creeping. And these sea urchins, like, they ended up coming to life. Like, this brick house ended up, like, just coming to life out of nowhere. It was, like, a black building, and it was just, like, weird looking. So Joe and Smith are in there like, oh, my God, what's going on? It's going down. And the next thing you know, the floor opens up out from under them, and they fall into this huge dimension that, like, they never knew even existed. So in this dimension, Joe and Smith ended up finally seeing these grins, right? So they seen these grins, and they're like, oh, my God. What's going on? And they're freaking out, and they're like, oh my God, one crapped his pants. And the next thing you know, they go on, this grin starts running out towards them, all weird looking, and his little balancer arms, just throwing weird looking stuff. And like he gets up to him, and then Smith just catches him with a right hook. Bow! Dude, he didn't know what was going on, right? The little monster thing just wanted to help him out a little bit and be like, hey, what are you guys doing here? This isn't your realm. What are you guys going? Let me help you out here. But they just went and just started attacking. Joe Smith didn't know what to go on. They just over here swinging, attacking people. They ain't even communicate or nothing. So next thing you know, these other grins come out. And the next thing you know, it's a whole army of these little grins. And then they're all over there running up on them. They're freaking out, dude. They're like in this little hole, like dark spot, dude. They're like, they have no idea where the hell they're at, dude. And like I said, they're inside this dimension that they ended up going in. And they're floating in a way that they're like almost non-gravity. So they're still like trying to run away from these little things and maneuver around and like fight them off. And while one of them is over there screaming this crazy little gremlin like sound that they got and do it, and it's like they're running away. They finally found this path that goes down that's actually like gold lighted, almost a roadway, but it's not like, it's translucent in a way, but they're able to walk on it. So they're like trying to run as fast as they can, but they can't. It's like one of those dreams where they're like trying to run and you try to run and you just can't run, but they're just trying to go. So Joe and Smith are like, oh my God, they're freaking out, dude. These little grins are running up behind them. And there's like a whole bunch of them that just came out of nowhere because they just started attacking them. And it was just like, all right. So finally, they make it down to the end of this road that was the translucent yellow brick road. So then they go to this door and there's like a whole new world in there, bro. You open it up and it's just like waterfalls, mountains, mist in the background, creeping in the cuts, and there's just like beautiful animals that they've never seen in their lives before. Clear water, stream running around inside the nice little outside little hill in the bottom meadow that they just went in through. So they go into this new world and they're like, oh my God, they're still running from the grins, and they're just like, dude, freaking out. And the next thing you know, Smith goes and does some dumb shit and pops over, trips, rolls down the hill, falls into the river. Come to find out, in this river, there's these weird looking fish that actually have mouths, like the teeth come out like this, but they're like whiskers. Almost like those moles. You know those moles that are kind of dig into the ground and all that stuff, and they don't have no eyes, but they got those weird mouths and like little things. But these are actually their teeth, and they actually eat using these, and they're actually like corals, and they come in and they grab onto the tissue, and they just like they seep through, and then they just go through every single cell, and then they demolish it, and then they just suck it in and then take it out in like a clean freaking chunk straight out of the skin, you know what I mean, or whatever flesh that they're eating. So these little fish things are like attacking this dude's leg, and he's like trying to get out of the water, and Smith's like, oh my god, they're trying to get me, and it's like, dude, it took a huge chunk of his shoe off. So he comes to find out that they can't get into the water. So the next thing you know, Smith and Joe are like, dude, I just want to get home. I'm tired of all this stuff attacking us. I'm tired of everything trying to get us. Joe's like, bro, I don't know what to do. Like, maybe we should go back the way we came. Like, this is freaking me out now. And then, like, next thing you know, this huge dude, like T-Rex looking thing, bro, comes out of nowhere. I mean, like, out of nowhere, bro. And it's like one of them old school, like, crazy looking T-Rexes, bro. And there's the little arms, you know, creeping around and throwing this big old tail of flopping and flopping. But the color of this T-Rex ended up being completely different than the normal history would state. You know what I mean? It was actually completely red and had like a tan, kind of like out like tiger look to it. So this T-Rex was just like freaking crazy scary, dude. Crazy teeth drooling. It looked like it had rabies and all that other stuff. So it comes out and it starts freaking out on them, and like, ah! Joe and Smith are like, oh my god. So next thing you know, they're running back to where they came from the Grins, and the Grins see this thing and they're like, fuck that, we out this bitch too. So they go back to where they came from, their little dimension over there. And then these guys are running back down the yellow brick road, and the T-Rex ends up running in there, dude. So next thing you know, they're just getting chased left and right, and at all these places, and all they wanted to do was check out this crazy little house they said was supposedly this and that haunted or whatever, you know. So they're running down this road, and they're still trying to run as fast as they can, but they're not running as fast. And the next thing you know, Smith is like, dude, I think we should just try something, man. Like, my shoe's losing me. And he jumps, dude, and just tries to jump and just pretends like he's flying. And next thing you know, my man just takes off. Joe's looking at him like, what the hell is going on here? Smith ends up coming out the cuts, floats back around, comes flying. He's like, bro, you gotta try it. Take off, just jump and believe. My man's jumped up. He hit the ground. Smack first, face first into the ground. He's like, damn. He gets back up. He starts trying to run again. Turns back around. T-Rex still chasing him. He gets up and boom! Just fucking flies faster than Smith was ever running fucking flying the whole time that he was up there. So next thing you know, they're like, wow, they're flying through this dimensional thing that they came in through. The yellow bricks road down there. These Grins are still running, and they're like, dude, we can get out of here. We can get out of here. So they try to fly up to where they were going, and then boom, they just smack them into this like force field thing, dude. Smacks them square in their face, bro. Then next thing you know, both of them wake up, and they were just sitting on the side of the streets in those candy cane places where they were at, and they ended up just smoking some weird stuff and passing out, and it was actually just a dream. And that is the end of the story. So come back tomorrow for episode 2 of Inside the Mind of Mohawk.